I'm going to talk about how much I spend in a month living the nomad life here in Austin, Texas. I'm going to talk about why we're doing the nomad life in the first place, the situation that we're living in, talk about our expenses in food, transportation, housing, storage, etc, etc, etc. And then at the very end, I'm going to compare our living situation in SF and see if it's actually much cheaper or much more expensive than our nomad life situation. So why are we living the nomad life in the first place? Two reasons. First is we want to take advantage of the remote living and work from home living situation and hop around different cities, immerse ourselves in the experience, visit local restaurants and shops, and just have a different scenery than what we're used to in San Francisco. Two is we wanted to sort of save some money. Living in San Francisco is freaking expensive, and so thought that hopping around different cities with hopefully a cheaper rent was going to help us save. First, let's contextualize the situation. We are living in Austin for 2 months, after which we're going to be going to New York and staying there. I'm living with 4 other people. My partner, Nick, my co-founder, Amy, her boyfriend, Kyle, and our friend, Nicole. With that, let's take a look at our finances here in Austin and compare it with our living expenses in San Francisco. For context, I spend about $18–25 per month in San Francisco, inclusive of food, groceries, rent, utilities, etc. And a lot of that goes into expensive rent. Now in Austin, our rent is much lower, but we have to think about transportation, storage, flights, and more. Will we break even? Let's find out. Our first expense was storage. We had to put our stuff in San Francisco someplace else, and so put it in storage. We used a typical public storage service. What we did to reduce the monthly price was we found a storage facility all the way in Hayward, California, which is a 45 minute drive from San Francisco. We thought that was worth it because it was roughly 2x less than any of the prices in San Francisco. So we pay a little bit more upfront in terms of gas and transportation, but much cheaper overall because we reduced our monthly expense. Monthly, the storage facility is $181, split between Nick and I, paying $90 per month. Next, to get from San Francisco to Austin, we took a flight. Surprisingly, the flights were really cheap. It was $50 one way per person. Thank you, United. Next is transportation. So we have a rental car from Turo, and that amounted to about $1,075 split amongst 5 in the house. That's about $215 per person per month. And of course, gotta add in gas, which is roughly $15 per week. Times 4 is $60. In total, transportation is about $275 per person per month. Now, the biggest expense of them all, housing. We are Airbnb-ing a house near Zilker Park in Austin. We luckily got a super sweet deal from this beautiful house in Austin. It amounted to me individually paying $970 for the first month and then $841 for the second month because of a longer stay discount. That's $905 per month. Yes, inclusive of utilities, water, internet, etc. Huge contrast from my $1,400 rental in San Francisco. It's also a really, really nice house compared to a tiny little apartment in San Francisco. We enter the house. Then there's a beautiful living room with a large TV. You enter and there's the kitchen and our workstation and a sunroom behind. Going upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms total, and we have the master bedroom, which includes our own bathroom. And my last main expense is going to be food, which amounts to roughly $280 per month. The rough breakdown is that every week I buy groceries from the best place in the entire world, Trader Joe's. That amounts to about $40 per week. My regular meal consists of impossible meat, some quinoa, some Brussels sprouts for veggies, 3 packs of pasta, so good. And then sometimes I'll add in ice cream ingredients for baking with the house, white cheddar popcorn for the occasional movie night, or bananas and strawberries for my daily smoothie. So $40 per week amounts to about $160 per month. And then I'll toss in about $30 per week for miscellaneous expenses, such as hella expensive $5 coffee from beautiful coffee shops, the occasional ice cream from Amy's Ice Cream, random dinners with friends, etc., etc. 30 times 4 is about $120 plus the $160 amounts to $280 total for food every month. That was the last main expense, but I'm gonna add in one last miscellaneous bucket just to cover random stuff that I pay for throughout the week. I'm just gonna toss in some $30 per month in there. This might include my $10 per physical therapy session, an entrance fee towards the Barton Springs for swimming, and other such miscellaneous activities. The total amount of all of those expenses is, drumroll please, $1,630 per month living the nomad life in Austin, in comparison to our $18,025 per month in SF. We are living cheaper. Now, what I did leave out is we spent some upfront money moving stuff from our apartment to a storage facility, and we'll have to be doing that again. What that means is to keep our break-even number inclusive of the storage movement, we'll have to spend a couple more months living the nomad life to actually break even. But it's okay, we'll keep it simple for now. All in all, while it'll still take us a couple more months to actually break even from one of our goals, the other goal of spending time in a new city, exploring different sites, hanging out with friends, and catching up on all things non-pandemic has upped our quality of life by a lot. We still have a couple more cities to venture into, but I'm really glad we have the privilege and the opportunity to be able to work remotely and work from home and even hop around these different cities at this time. If you're considering the nomad life or have explored the nomad life yourself, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me your hacks, your tips and tricks. I'm happy to share mine as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. It's free, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. You're making noise. Now, split amongst 5 is, how much is that? No, that's wrong.
Break.
That's a break.
That's break.
Oh shoot.
What? What is this green?
My bad. Okay, I'm lying. I mean, still.